Once upon a time, a great monk was on his deathbed. He said to his successor, a young monk, "Remember one thing, never allow a cat in your life." And he died. A big crowd had gathered to listen to the last statement of this great monk. Everyone was surprised to hear his last words. The successor was also very surprised. He was thinking, "Why should I allow a cat in my life anyway?" They cremated their master with all the rituals, but the successor monk was still thinking about the last statement of his master. There was also an old monk in the monastery. The old monk had been with his master for the last many years and had seen his master's life very closely. However, he could not be chosen as the successor because he was very old and was about to die any time. Seeing the young monk lost in thoughts, he came to him and asked him the reason for his concern. The young monk told him the reason for his concern. The old monk said, "My dear friend, you don't know, there is a long story behind it." Then he narrated the whole story to the young monk. The story was when their master renounced his wife, children, and his home, and went into the jungle. He lived near a small village and used to go there to beg for food. The villagers were happy to have a monk of their own, so they made a small bamboo cottage for him. The monk had only 2 clothes to wear, but trouble arose when some rats came into the house and started chewing on the clothes. The monk was in great difficulty since he had only 2 clothes, and soon they would be torn to pieces. He asked the villagers for a solution, and they suggested keeping a cat to keep the rats away. It was a perfect solution, and the monk agreed. The villagers gave him a cat, and it kept the rats away. Now the problem was that he had to feed the cat, so he had to go to the village several times to beg for some milk. Again, he asked the villagers for a solution, and they suggested keeping a cow. A beautiful cow was brought, but the cow needed grass and someone to look after it. So, every day, the monk had to go to the village to beg for grass. People said, "This does not look right, a great monk asking for grass." The monk said, "But what to do? How will I feed my cow and my cat?" The villagers suggested persuading a widow in the village to serve the monk, as she had nobody and would be happy to take care of him. The villagers cleared some ground by the side of his hut so she could grow grass and crops. The idea seemed right, and the woman agreed. She started taking care of the monk's cottage, cow, and cat, and they started growing crops together in the field. Slowly, things progressed, and they fell in love with each other. The woman got pregnant, and a child came into their life. One day, the monk thought about what he had left behind. He had renounced the world, and now the whole world was back. It happened so slowly that he was not aware until the child came. The old monk said, "He told you, remember not to keep a cat in your life." Here, the meaning of the cat was that you should never give your mind so much leverage that it slowly starts dominating you, and you don't even realize how you become addicted to some bad habit. If we see in our lives, we will find that often we allow our minds to do something that we know is not good. We think that we will do it only once and not repeat it. But once you give a little leverage to your mind, it starts taking more leverage from you. You will not even realize how you will become addicted to some bad habit. Like that monk who had renounced the world but, in order to save his 2 clothes from rats, kept a cat, and then, to feed the cat, kept a cow, and to look after the cow, kept a woman, and then fell in a relationship with her, and again became a householder. Similarly, we know that taking drugs for intoxication is bad, but still some people take drugs just to feel its effect for the first time. After that, they start doing it again and again, and then, slowly and slowly, they become drug addicted. For another instance, we know that eating junk food is not good for our health, but still we give it a try. Slowly and slowly, we start eating it too often. Therefore, never keep a cat of giving leverage to your mind, because once you keep this cat, it will take your life toward destruction, and you will not even know this.